All right, I'm going to try this again. Today is March 11th, 2021. And so this is what our garden is looking like today. Not too spectacular, but I'm not going to complain about it. We're getting ready to start over for the spring. So this is the first bed that normally we would have our cabbage in. And what we have right here is one solitary radish. Everything else is cleared out. We're going to figure out what we're going to plant later. And over here in the second bed, this is where last year it was collard greens in the back, and we had our peppers up in this top corner. But I decided to thin out some turnip greens and put them over here. Well, they died. I have one little bit of little thing of collard greens over there that are still trying to grow, so we'll just keep watering it. I know it's looking dry right now because I'm getting ready to water it, but it dries out really good during the day, and so it's almost sundown, so I'm getting ready to water it. I just figured I would try to record this real quick because I came out here this morning thinking I was going to record, and yeah, that didn't work out too great. So over here looks a little bit better. Now back here, that is where I had a whole lot of turnip greens clustered together. So I decided that I would pull them up and try to thin them out and put them over in that garden bed, and it did not work. So here we go. Got some collard greens back here that are still holding on. They're actually looking good. And we've got a few cabbage that decided to hang in there with us. Oh, and there's some broccoli. So not too bad. We actually have only gotten turnip greens out of the garden this winter. We're going into spring now, so you know it's going to be a completely different story. I hope anyways. Now over here is where normally we would have our tomatoes at. And this winter we decided to try lettuce, and that is celery. That's celery back there that we actually bought from one of the local nurseries, and it hasn't done anything. It's probably rotted in there. I'll find out in a week or so after we get ready to start putting stuff down. Over in this corner, that is where we did get some really good turnip greens pulled up, and we got those cleaned up, cut up, and frozen. And over here, this is our rough bed. These are radish. 3 different types of radish. Don't ask me what kind. I know one is the sparkler or sprinkler, the little red and white ones. And then the other ones are the ones that are white, long and white. I can't remember what they're called. But anyways, this is where they're growing at right now. I'm going to pull those up probably this weekend. Today is Thursday, so most likely Saturday I'll come out here and get those up. On the back row where it's clear, that's where we had some green beans. That's why we have these here things tossed around, because I thought the green beans would actually survive this winter, and they did not. Still have a couple of radish over here too. I'm gonna pull those up. That one, a couple of them are bolting, so I probably left those in there too long. Sorry, I'm sniffing. Those allergies are kicking in. That is where we used to have that banana tree. I mean, I didn't dig it up or anything yet, but it did not do well over the winter. I'm not sure. I've got a neighbor her tree comes back every year, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. She doesn't have any fruit on it yet, but she's literally 2 houses away from me, and her tree grows well. So there might just be an issue with our soil over here. I don't know. But I'm not going to worry about it, because really I'm hoping that we could just clear this little bit of space and put 2 more garden boxes in just for vegetables, because I really don't need a banana tree. Over here we have our grapes that I just put in last week, and we've got Concord, it doesn't look like much because they're the bare roots. So I'm hoping and praying they are alive and just dormant and that they start waking up any day now. That is a Concord. This one is a Concord. And I say I hope that they're not dead because this was actually, that was actually green when I put it in there. So I'm not sure what happened, but I did mix the dirt up so that it wasn't all clay in there. I put a lot of store-bought topsoil inside, and the topsoil on top of this, this is just what we had left over, and I didn't have any place to put it, so I just put it on top of the grapes yesterday actually. But these have been like this since the day after I planted them. Not sure what happened. So you grape growers, let me know if I'll be okay with these things here. I'm in Georgia. I think my zone is 7B. It used to be 8A. I'm not sure how that changed or when, but zone 7B or whatever it is just south of Atlanta. Over here is another Concord grapevine. And then this is Canada's grapes. So the plan is to let these things grow. And then if they actually do grow well, we'll build some arbors so that they can sprawl and do what they do. I think that we probably have these too close to each other here, but there's a good 8 feet between these here and between these here. So we'll have to get creative with trellising or whatever we decide to do if, you know, they actually do grow. But I figured they were $5 per vine. So it was definitely worth trying, especially when you're looking at grapes at $2.99, $3.50 a pound at the grocery store. So we'll see what happens. Now over here is that peach tree that we planted back in 2019. So I can't remember how old they said the peach tree was when we bought it, but I think it was 2 years old when we bought it. So it should be like 4 years now. So maybe this year we'll actually get real peaches off of it. And I say real peaches because last summer we got a few that actually grew. Sorry for all the wind and the static. I'm fumbling around with my microphone. Last year we did get a few that came out. Those dang on squirrels stole them, went right up those stems and ate them. So I figured if they do grow again this year, what I will do is look into some of those little mesh sacks that you could put around your fruit so that you could save a few. I don't mind if they take some of them, but I don't want them to take all of them if we do get some growing. So we will see what happens. She looks a lot bigger than she really is. This is a Alberta peach tree that the instructions say that it doesn't require a pollinator. It's supposed to, you know, self-pollinate. So we'll see what happens. And I'm going to walk over here and take a look at these other fruit trees. Okay, now this is the pear tree, and I think it's a Bartlett pear tree. I think that's what this is, but she's starting to bud a little bit, and I got these trees all at the same time, so I'm expecting that they'll start fruiting not too far from each other. And this also is supposed to be a self-pollinating tree, so hopefully it will be. I have a neighbor 3 houses down who has one of these trees, and they've had theirs for a while. I mean, it's really well established, and they get hundreds of pears off of it every year. So I'm hoping that ours will do just as good. You know, even if it takes 5-6 years or so, that's fine. And now this apple tree, I honestly don't know what type of apple tree this is. It's a helicopter flying. But this is the apple tree. And She's doing really good, I guess. I know that the apple trees won't actually start blossoming or anything till later on, a lot later than the peach tree or the pear tree will. So we'll see how she starts looking towards the end of the summer. Now over here is this sad looking fig tree. This is a Chicago hardy fig, is what it's supposed to be anyways. I bought this online from just an individual on eBay, and I can't say I'm disappointed or anything because I didn't do right by it. I put it in a container for it to grow, and I truly did not expect it to grow because I paid $6 for this tree with free shipping, okay? So I put it in the container and it actually started growing a little bit and it started pushing out fruit. So it was this small, pushing out fruit. Me and my husband decided to go on and try to get it in the ground to see if, it'll do any better. And that was at the end of last year. So we'll see what happens this year. I'm hoping that it's just dormant right now and that it will wake up and start growing. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it got a few feet taller, but we'll see what happens. So that was just a quick update, what's been going on in our garden, and thanks for watching.